Hello, hello, you beautiful soul, and welcome again to another episode of The Unapologetic You. Obviously, again, with me, Kiana, your host and coach. And I am so happy that you're here again, spending your time with me, listening to this beautiful episode about when comfort is not the truth anymore. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, actually, this whole concept of comfort and also how often we confuse familiar with true. How quickly we settle into ways of being that don't challenge us, but also don't really satisfy us either. And especially when it comes to sex, intimacy, and desire, that is where we so often just stay within our comfort zones or the zones that were put up for us, this little box that was put up for us just to make sure that we fit in, just to make sure that we're not too different from the rest. And that is something that I want to talk about today. When comfort is not your truth. Yeah, you heard that right. I said your truth. Because in general, the truth can be something totally different than what aligns with you. Your values don't have to align with the rest of the world's. And here it is all about trying to figure out what aligns to your truth, what you desire. Because comfort can look like so many different things. For example, staying quiet about what you want, or choosing what is expected instead of what feels alive and makes you feel alive. But comfort can also look like telling yourself that this is just how it is, or it is what it is. We've probably all said that phrase quite frequently in our lives. I actually remember being in Barcelona in 2019 as I was living there, and I was in an Airbnb with my boyfriend at the time, and we had this older guy living in the same Airbnb for that week. His name was Michael, and Michael was an absolute genius. I remember him telling me after I told him, "Hey, Michael, it is what it is." He's like, "No, Kiana, it's not. It is what it is. Let's, for once and for all, change this sentence now to it is what it is, not always how you want it to be." And that for me totally changed something in my mind, in my in my brain chemistry, to be fair, because if you say it is what it is and not always how you want it to be, that is something that gives that control away. But I really like that because it also gives you the power to slow down in your head. So thank you, Michael. If you ever happen to listen to this episode, this one is dedicated to you, to our time in this beautiful, wonderful Airbnb in Barcelona in 2019. It is what it is, and not always what you want it to be. But that is just something to describe comfort. And that is something that we want to break free from. Because over time, comfort can become a self made cage. Yeah, and I chose this word cage carefully because it's very often something that holds us back. It's good to live in comfort, but every now and then you also should challenge you. You should challenge yourself to doing things that feel outside of your comfort zone, but that make you feel alive, that set your soul on fire, and that make your legs shake just a little, if not a lot. And yes, pun is definitely intended. There's nothing that's good as a good leg shaking session. hmm. I see so many people who feel very deeply and who also want deeply, but they have also learned to negotiate themselves down. And honestly, before I broke free from that cage that I was in, or that I was put in, or I just kept myself in, so to say, I used to be one of these people. I used to be a person that always knew that she could feel so deeply, but I always negotiated myself down in order to fit into the mold that was made for me or expected for me. Now, As you already know, especially if you've been listening to this podcast episode or if you've been reading the liberation letters, yeah, Kiana kind of broke free. Kiana does not really belong in a cage because that's where I go ballistic. Because cages are meant to keep you small, and that is not what we want. Cages are meant to soften our edges and to dim our hunger. And it's not necessarily because we lack courage, but because at some point, honesty just really feels like a risk. Being honest about your desires or being honest about what you want in life in general can feel like a risk, especially if you don't or if you didn't found the words yet to describe it. Now, if you have ever felt that gap between who you are and who you allow yourself to be, then I absolutely want you to hear this very, very clearly and also to repeat after me. Well, let me first say it to you and then we'll repeat it together. You are not broken. You're not asking for too much. And you are not wrong for wanting more. Now, as you could already hear, this was said in the you form. It was me talking to you. But I also asked you to repeat this after me, to talk to yourself right after me. So let's do it together one more time and we will change the you to I. Are you ready? Let's go. I am not broken. I am not broken. I am not asking for too much. I am not asking for too much. And I am not wrong for wanting more. I am not wrong for wanting more. I hope you also said this out loud. Because my cats are just funnily looking at me like, Mommy, are you talking to yourself again? Well, yes, my loves, I am. It's important to nurture yourself with the right words, with words that empower you. Because you are not broken, you're also not asking for too much, and you are also not wrong for wanting more. And it's super interesting because I'm currently creating something that speaks directly to the space of wanting more, of knowing that you can feel more deeply. All this unapologetic you, all this unapologetic love. And the thing that I'm creating is something super slow, something super grounding, and also super honest. Super, super honest with yourself, with who you desire to be. And yeah, it will be intense. Oh, it will be super intense. But on that note, I will share some more very, very soon. So stay tuned, lovely. Stay tuned for the unapologetic you, for all the news that's coming up, because we are going to break free from this cage together, because it is time to become the most unapologetic version of yourself. With love, Kiana.